Dr. Richard Blahut has led a remarkable 60-year career as a visionary leader in information theory, digital communications, and military systems, shaping industries and inspiring future generations of innovators. He led the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Illinois for 8 years, where he also served as a professor and research scholar. While at IBM from 1964 to 1994, he worked in the Federal Systems Division, responsible for the analysis and design of systems for signal processing, digital communications, and statistical information processing. Dr. Blahut also taught at Cornell and Princeton universities, South China University of Technology, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, and the NATO Advanced Study Institute. A member of the National Academy of Engineers for 30 years, Dr. Blahut is an IBM Fellow and an IEEE Fellow. The author of 10 textbooks, he is the recipient of the IEEE Claude E. Shannon and Alexander Graham Bell Awards.
Well, good evening. I'm going to start, with your permission, with the year of 1948. How many of you remember 1948? So I was 11 years old in 1948, a year. Actually, many call it the magical year, the miracle year. So I'm going to review a little bit of 1948, and I have my reasons. I'll start there. It'll take me a minute or two. 1948, many world events happened, just to set the stage. The British Empire moved out from the Indian subcontinent. India became its independent country. Israel, War of Independence, Israel became a country. In China, the Chinese communists took control of the country, changed the name of the country, the People's Republic of China. In Europe, the Soviets decided to blockade Berlin, and the Berlin airlift began. I remember those events. I was, at that time, 11 years old, I might have mentioned. Truman, there was a situation between Truman and Stalin, and eventually Truman won that. Many of these things have been forgotten. Many of these things were major events at the time, but in my reading of history, they weren't the most important things. The most important things that happened in 1948 happened right here in Lower Manhattan, a few blocks from here, hardly noticed at the time, but in fact leading to momentous changes in our culture and our environment. The two people, my two heroes of the time, my two heroes, technical heroes of all time, are John Bardeen and Claude Shannon. John Bardeen and Claude Shannon worked right here in Manhattan. Two people from the middle of America, Wisconsin and Michigan. John Bardeen announced in 1948 the invention of the transistor. The transistor, I think you all know, each of you own probably millions, even billions. It's the center of all of the technology that we all hold so dear today. It's found in everything from computers to televisions to children's toys. Transistors everywhere. And Claude Shannon, he published in 1948 the mathematical theory of communication, defining the mathematics that led to much of the technology that goes into our modern telecommunications industry. So these two people, these two events, they led to 50 years of research preoccupied the best minds of our generation, of my generation, leading to what I have in my pocket, which we all have in our pockets, leading to this. So it was Arthur C. Clarke who said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I really submit, Arthur C. Clarke did not say it is magic. He said it's indistinguishable from magic. It's as if it were magic. I submit this device was not even thought of by our science fiction writers. Our science fiction writers did they thought about time travel, they thought about flying machines, they thought about submarines that live underneath the sea. They never thought about a device like this. This device that I have in my hand, I can contact any person in the world instantly, in any developed part of the world, instantly, day or night, whether they're indoors or outdoors. This is something that even our science fiction writers couldn't conceive and would certainly have thought of as magic. There's more magic that's happened in this world. We now have machines that can look inside of us and see our organs. We have screens, big screens in our living rooms that can show 6 football games simultaneously in real time, that are thousands of miles apart. These are things that so Harvard and Yale, they produce their lawyers, their politicians. West Point and schools like West Point, they produce their generals. But Stevens, we produce our engineers. These are the people that develop such devices. And they change the world in so doing. So I don't want to talk too long. I didn't mean to talk so long, but I want to turn now to my own experiences here, if I may. I graduated in 1964, January 1964. And what would I want to say about that? So I came to Stevens, and I got my degree here in theoretical physics. My other degrees are in electrical engineering, and I worked as an electrical engineer most of my career. But I took courses here, and those courses, they were deep, they were fundamental, they were transformational, they were difficult, they were hard, and they were wonderful. Those courses changed my life that I took at Stevens. I still have my notebooks from those days, and I treasure those notebooks 60 years later. Stevens, I heard someone say tonight that Stevens is a well-kept secret. Stevens is the primary technical university in the metropolitan area and one of the gems here. And I hope it's so recognized as such. I think President Farvarden realizes this. Stevens is a jewel, and I should change my talk now and just thank a few people. I thank my family for being here today and their support. I thank Barbara, who really made it all possible, who's not here today. And I certainly thank all the instructors that I had here 60 years ago. I thank President Farvarden and the awards committee for this honor. Thank you.